There's something really special about making tea, isn't there? That little daily ritual.
The warmth, the smell.
Exactly. And, for those of us who really get into it, sometimes the simplest tools make the biggest difference.
That's so true. Often overlook things.
Which brings us to today's topic, the humble tea infuser.
Ah, yes. An essential bit of kit.
Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into, a fantastic guide all about tea infusers.
A really thorough one.
Yeah, and our mission here isn't just to, list things. We want to help you figure out this whole world of infusers.
Navigate the options.
Right. Why they matter, what kinds there are, the materials.
How to use them properly, how to look after them.
Exactly. So you can pick the perfect one and really, truly level up your tea game.
Make every cup fantastic.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So, even as someone who loves loose leaf, sometimes on a busy morning, that tea bag looks pretty easy.
Oh, the temptation is real. Convenience is king sometimes.
So what's the real, the actual difference that makes using an infuser worth it for someone serious about tea?
That's the core question, really. Tea bags are convenient, no doubt. But they often sacrifice the actual soul of the tea.
Okay, how so?
Well, what's really interesting is it's not just that loose leaves are better. It's about unlocking what gets trapped.
Trapped?
Yeah, inside that small bag. See, loose leaves need space. In an infuser, they can fully open up, unfurl, expand. And that process lets them release their entire flavor profile. It's like hearing the whole orchestra, instead of just one instrument.
That's a great analogy.
And beyond just better flavor, using an infuser instantly opens up, a whole universe of different teas.
You're not stuck with just what's in the bags.
Exactly. So much more variety, way more interesting discoveries. And honestly, the quality is just consistently higher with loose leaf.
Right. Bigger leaves.
Bigger leaves, fewer bits and pieces, less of that tea dust or fannings you find in bags.
So the infuser is basically your key to getting that whole leaf, and therefore the whole flavor.
Precisely. It's direct access.
Okay, I'm sold on the why. But then you go to buy one online or in a shop, and whoa, so many options.
Can be a bit overwhelming, yeah.
How do we even start to figure out all these different styles?
Okay, let's break it down. We can look at the main types. First up, you've got your classic tea balls.
The little metal mesh spheres. Everyone's seen those.
Exactly. Little spheres, usually metal mesh or sometimes perforated steel. They're cheap, easy to find, easy to use. Kind of the entry point.
There's always a but.
The but is space. They're usually quite small inside.
Right, so the leaves can't do that unfurling thing you mentioned.
They really can't. It restricts the flavor release. They work, but maybe not optimally.
Okay, so what's the next step up?
That would probably be tea baskets.
Yeah.
These are larger, usually cylinder-shaped fine mesh or stainless steel.
The ones that sit right in the mug.
Yeah, or in a teapot. They give the leaves much more room to expand.
So better flavor extraction.
Definitely. A noticeable jump in flavor quality for most people. They might cost a bit more, but often worth it.
Makes sense. What else?
That you have infuser mugs. These are mugs that have the infuser built right in.
Oh, convenient.
Super convenient, especially for a single cup. Often stainless steel or ceramic infusers. Easy to clean. Many have lids to keep the heat in.
Downside.
Less versatile, maybe. You're kind of locked into using that specific mug for brewing.
True. Okay.
For people on the move, there are travel infusers. These are built into travel mugs or bottles.
Right, for the commute or the office.
Exactly. Great for keeping up your tea habit anywhere. Usually well insulated, too.
Cons? Probably price.
Yeah, generally more expensive.
Yeah.
And sometimes the cleaning can be a bit fiddly, depending on the design.
Okay. And one more type.
Right, the disposable tea filters. Basically little single-use paper or maybe cloth bags that you fill yourself.
Like making your own tea bag each time?
Pretty much. The big pro is convenience. Brew, steep, toss. No cleaning.
And the big con is, obviously,
the environmental footprint. Being single-use isn't great.
So lots of shapes and styles, but I've noticed they're made of different stuff too. Stainless steel, silicone, glass. Does that matter much?
Oh, it absolutely matters. Way more than people might think.
Really? How?
Well, the material impacts durability, how well it holds heat, and crucially, whether it adds any unwanted taste to your tea.
Okay. Let's break that down then. What about stainless steel? Seems popular.
Very popular and for good reason. It's generally seen as the best for flavor neutrality. It will make your tea taste metallic.
Good.
Plus, it's super durable, doesn't rust, easy to clean. The only real downsides are maybe it's a bit heavier and can be more expensive than some options.
Okay. What about silicone? Those come in fun shapes.
They do. That's a big part of the appeal.
Yeah.
Heat resistant, flexible, lots of colors and designs like that little manatee one.
Yeah. Any drawbacks?
Some users, maybe a small number, report noticing a very faint silicone taste. And sometimes the fun shapes aren't the most practical for letting leaves expand properly.
Interesting. Okay. Glass.
Glass is beautiful, isn't it? You get to watch the leaves steep, which is lovely.
Totally.
And like stainless steel, it's totally flavor neutral. Zero taste interference.
Fragile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the main worry. You've got to handle them carefully. Easy to break.
Right. Last one, ceramic.
Ceramic is great for holding heat well, which can subtly affect how you perceive the tea's warmth and body.
Okay.
Also flavor neutral, and often comes in really stylish, artistic designs.
Similar downsides to glass.
A bit. It's heavier, and it can chip or crack if you drop it. So choosing the material really depends on what you prioritize: looks, toughness, pure taste.
That makes a lot of sense. So, okay, say you've picked your infuser type, consider the material. Now, how do you actually use it to get that perfect cup? What's the process?
Right, the practical part. It's an art, but an easy one to learn. First step, measure your tea.
How much? Is it always 1 teaspoon?
That's a good starting point, 1 teaspoon per cup. But honestly, you'll want to adjust. Some teas are fluffier, some denser. Depends on the tea and how strong you like it.
Okay, experiment a bit.
Definitely. Taste and tweak. Next, and this is crucial, get the water temperature right.
Yes. Boiling isn't always best.
Absolutely not. Boiling is fine for most black teas and herbals, but for greens or whites, way too hot.
Right, it makes them bitter.
Exactly. You want cooler water, maybe 160 to 185 Fahrenheit or 70 to 85 Celsius. You're coaxing the flavor out gently.
Got it, then.
Then you add your measured tea to the infuser. And here's the key. Don't pack it in.
Leave room for expansion.
Yes. Give those leaves space to dance around, then steep the tea.
Okay. Infuser in the cup, pour the water over.
Pour the water over, right.
Okay.
And steep for the recommended time. It varies a lot.
General guidelines?
Black teas usually 3 to 5 minutes. Green teas maybe 2 to 3. Herbals often need longer, 5 to 7 minutes. But again, these are just starting points.
Find your own sweet spot.
Exactly. And the final, really important step, remove the infuser when the time's up.
Don't just leave it sitting in there.
Please don't. That leads to over-extraction. Bitterness, astringency. Take it out promptly.
And then enjoy.
And then enjoy your perfect cup. Simple as that, really.
It sounds like those little details in the process can make a huge difference.
And just as important as brewing right is, keeping the tool clean, right?
Yeah.
For longevity and taste.
Oh, absolutely essential. A clean infuser means clean taste.
Yeah.
It's not just about hygiene.
So what are the key tips for care?
Easiest thing, best habit to get into. Rinse it immediately after you use it.
Just with water.
Hot water, preferably. It stops the tea oils and tiny leaf bits from drying on and staining, especially the mesh ones.
Makes sense. What about deeper cleaning?
Yeah, every so often, especially if you see buildup, do a deep clean. Soaking it helps.
Soaking that.
Warm water with a bit of vinegar or maybe some baking soda. Let it sit for a bit, then give it a gentle scrub with a soft brush. Works wonders. Dishwasher.
Yay or nay?
I generally say nay, even if it says dishwasher safe.
Really? Why?
Hand washing is just gentler. Dishwasher detergents and the high heat can potentially damage fine mesh or degrade materials over time. Better to hand wash to make it last longer.
Good tip. Anything else?
Just give it a quick look now and then. Check for any damage.
Like rust.
Rust on metal, yeah, or tears in mesh, cracks in ceramic. If it's damaged, it's probably time to replace it to make sure you're getting the best brew.
Okay, so we've covered the why, the types, the materials, the how to use, the how to clean. Wow.
A lot to it.
So let's bring it all together for the listener. How do you help someone sift through all this and find their perfect infuser match?
It really comes down to matching the infuser to the person. Not about one single best one, but the best one for you.
Right.
So first, I'd say, consider your brewing habits. How do you normally make tea?
Like single cups or whole pots? Exactly. Are you mostly making one mug just for yourself? Or are you brewing a big pot to share or sip on through the morning? That points you towards, individual infusers versus bigger baskets or those infuser teapots.
Okay, that makes sense. What next?
Think honestly about ease of use and cleaning.
Be realistic about your routine.
Totally. If an infuser feels like a hassle to fill up, or fiddle with, or especially to clean, let's be honest, you'll probably stop using it.
Yeah, it'll end up in the back of the drawer.
Right. So pick something that feels easy and fits into your life smoothly.
Good point. Then material, I guess.
Yep. Revisit material preferences. How important is durability for you? Is absolute flavor purity the top priority? Do you care about how it looks?
So weighing those pros and cons we discussed.
Exactly. Stainless steel and glass are often popular choices for that combination of durability and clean taste, but others have their place too.
And finally,
portability. If you drink a lot of tea away from home.
work, travel.
Yeah. Then a dedicated travel infuser or one of those infuser mugs is probably going to be your best friend. It's really about aligning the tool with your actual tea life.
That's a really helpful framework. And just to give people some concrete ideas, the guide we looked at did mention a few specific recommendations that get high marks.
It did, yeah. A few standouts. The Fine & Brewing basket comes up a lot.
Why is that?
Stainless steel mesh, lots of room for leaves, really simple to use and clean, just a solid all-rounder.
Okay.
Then there's the 4Life tea infuser, also durable stainless steel, but it often has a silicone rim that fits different mug sizes, which is clever.
Ah, adaptable.
Yeah, and the lid doubles as a little dish to put the infuser on after steeping. No drips.
Nice touch.
For people really picky about tiny bits of tea getting through, the Iwasi Extra Fine Mesh Tea Infuser is, well, extra fine. Does a great job filtering.
Good for rooibos or really fine teas?
Exactly. And then something a bit different, the Adagio Teas Ingenuity TA.
Oh, the bottom dispensing ones. Those look cool.
They are pretty neat. You brew right in the pot, then just set it on top of your mug and the tea flows out the bottom. Super easy dispensing.
Clever design.
And finally, for a bit of fun, the Fred and Friends Manatea.
The little silicone manatee.
That's the one. It's whimsical, easy to use, easy to clean. Makes a great little gift too.
So quite a range, even in the recommendations. What a journey we've been on into the surprisingly detailed world of tea infusers.
It really is quite nuanced when you dig in.
But it's so clear now that a good infuser isn't just, a gadget. It's fundamental. It unlocks a much richer, more satisfying tea experience, way beyond a standard tea bag.
Night and day, often.
Hopefully this deep dive gives you the confidence to choose wisely and, well, really enjoy your tea more.
Definitely. And maybe, as a final thought, consider how often we kind of ignore these small, simple tools in our day. The ones that, if chosen carefully, can bring so much quality and, frankly, joy to our little daily rituals. Makes you wonder what other small choices could make your day noticeably better.
That's a great question to ponder. Okay, well, we've certainly unpacked a lot here.
We have indeed.
Now I think it's time to go brew some amazing tea.
Couldn't agree more.